What it do, family? What it do? Okay, listen, listen. We are gonna do some things today, and this is exciting. You're in the right spot. Don't be freaked out that it looks different. I have the Creators Unstuck profile set up. We're gonna do a leave taping of the old Stuck creators. So there is that. Let me bring in the Lou. What it do, Lou? Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Okay, so I have a couple scenes that I want to build out for this because we are going to show you how we built our run a show. And so I'm going to let you see that. Yes, ma'am.
Will you just real quick pass me a pink Doc Pop? Just real quick. Wait. Do it again. That was close. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, she's practicing. This is Mary Lou. This is life with Mary Lou. Bro, I'm gonna send Will a care package. Yo, he has a show popping off, yeah? How do you mute yourself? Again. Don't touch the mic. Your mic is pulsing red. Okay, so let me show you a trick real quick. Go into move mic settings and then press the lock on mute so you don't accidentally hit it.
Oh, yeah,
Trust me, smart. I hit that shit all the time. It was funny, Paul. We were in Chicago, and then they're like, oh, how's everybody liking their MV7X? And we're like, oh, we love it. But we keep accidentally hitting the mute button. And the dude who made the software was like, you know you can lock it, right? And like the whole room was like, because I don't know how. A room full of smart people, we all missed that shit. And then so he goes, oh, maybe I should make it more prominent. And I was like, nah, it's fine. But we were so excited with all the other cool stuff, we completely missed locking out the mute function because I hit that joint constantly.
That's right. It says rejected. You cannot mute me. That's pretty great.
Yeah, Louis said we locked them all out at Podcast Summit. Oh, dude, I have to fix this. Hold on. There's ugly. Ugly! Up in here. Let me copy this. And then oh, you bitch. Kevin, right click, paste settings.
That worked. Make a mechanical screen.
You need a mechanical screen?
For your stream. With all your colors in it.
Yeah, I didn't make that yet. We was just getting fancy. All right, cool. We're going to leave it. Sup, Yolanda? All right, so that's cool, I think. Yeah, it's good. We're going to leave it like that. We're going to stop messing with it. What's up, Hirsch? Long time no see, Poppy. All right, so I'm going to make a Notion scene real quick. I need to pop in a little Doc Pop. Boom. Put that there. And then pull down a little Lou and put that face over there. And Paul Wall. And then I need to add, you see I said Paul Wall. Did you get that? Because I was singing Ugly up in here. And then I just little Paul Wall because he sings that song. Come on. Wait, no, Ugly was Bubba Sparks. Never mind. I messed it up.
It's okay. The references are all kind of close.
It's still the Dirty South. Speaking of dirty South, Paul,
dirty.
How's your weekend? Kidding. Paul gonna have the Dirty South weekend.
Recovering.
Yo, I'm losing my brains today. You don't even know. All right, so now I want to pick the old Nosh. Bingo! All right, let's break this. So this is, we're going to build a runs of show, not to be confused with runs to the bathroom. Okay, and then. Okay, we're gonna make one more. Let me call this Notion. Not to be confused with lotion. Bingo. I'm gonna duplicate this and call it browser because I didn't make one yet, and we might need it at some point in this time. Bingo, and then I'm gonna make one more cool looking screen. And for this one, I don't know if you guys noticed, I need Lou over here. I need myself in the middle. like Malcolm. Actually, shouldn't do that yet. Let me delete this Lou face. Whenever you trying to decide on your screens, pick your size first, and then pull the second one, because then it's the same size. You know what I mean? And this, this one might not fit. Paul's head might be too big. We can always go outside a little bit. Oh, dang it. I made it 1 second too big. All right.
Just the scotch. Just the scotch.
Just the scotch. Let's make Lou that big, and then we'll just
Does everybody else have any big plans for the weekend?
Cheers to the freaking weekend. Sorry, I'm having.
Yeah, Will's got his live performance, so he's taking his online stuff and other performances and like does a 45-minute to an hour rock and roll comedy show. So I wish you guys were all here so you could come and see it.
Oh, it's in there just by the smidgen. Getting there, getting there. I'll just use the arrow. Pap, pap, pap. All right, let me put huge head man over here, and then old man over here, and then we're good. Okay, so this one goes to Mary Lou, and this one goes to Paul. Okay, got it. Got it. Louise says live streaming this evening. Bingo. No more in that. He's so stupid.
And in case you guys are wondering, if you have an MB7 Plus, right, the new foam on the MB7 Plus is a little bit taller, but it still fits.
Well, you could also just use the SM7B version.
Right, then it's ginormous.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's like all up in my business.
But that'll keep you from like getting too close. Actually, I don't think there is such thing as too close to the mic on the shore, because it has been designed properly. Not that, never mind. We won't have to get
I don't know, but that's something that we could test. Is like which one works more better.
I'm not going to tell anyone to do this.
Hey.
But what is up, yo? I'm not going to tell anybody to do this, but you could absolutely take it real carefully and cut it shorter for the SM7B one.
I'm not doing that. This is perfection.
Okay, so we got that. All right, cool. So what we're gonna do first? Let's build our runner show. Okay, so just in case people is new, because Sarante just roll her butt up in here like she always do, fashionably late, looking cute.
Looking cute.
Looking cute, though. She like, little something I just did with my hair. I ain't got no hair, so there's that. We launched a brand new. See, I told you I was gonna need the browser thing. Why he dumb? I already need it right now. We launched our brand new podcast, and I'm kind of excitement about it. As my friend Borat says, I'm so very excited. Right. So we did promo recording this week. And then we actually launched the first episode, but I didn't turn it on yet. I'm going to turn it on live so y'all can see. So what you're going to want to do is on YouTube, hit Creatorers Unstuck, and look, it should already search. And I'll tell you why. If you search your name and you can't find your channel, but we can search our name and we can find our channel, and our channel's only been out for 3 days, I'm going to tell you why. Tell me why he ain't nothing but a... So you should search your name. If you search your name and you can't find your channel in the fold of YouTube, I know exactly why you're missing that point. So we're going to talk about that real quick. All right. So under my channel, Thangy Thang right here, I'm going to hit more about this channel, right? We got everything filled out. We got 16 subscribers, Lou. What? Oh, snap. We're going to have 50 by the end of the week. Wait, this Saturday. We gotta double them up by tomorrow. That's only 30.
By tomorrow.
That's only
by the
32.
end of this live stream.
All right. So yeah, maybe we double up. Anyway, so there is, all of this portion is filtered out. But if you go to like the homepage, which I don't know why the more doesn't show, I actually put in descriptions. So
coming up for you
on this version, right? actually did a full description. And in that full description, it wasn't no shortcut. Oh, this is just a trailer. This is where people are sleeping on your YouTube content. If you're lazy about your descriptions, Mary Lou, you are killing your own self with your SEO. SEO is how people find you when they search. It is imperative, Mary Lou, that you do your descriptions even though you don't like to type. We all know, nobody say it, your mans can't type, okay? So what I do is I verbalize prior to a week ago, I would verbalize this joint and I used audio pen to turn the transcription into words. If you don't, let's just come over here and say, I do not want to spend 3 cents. Cool. Here's what you do. I'm looking for it. It's in my pocket. He dumb. All right. I don't want to spend any money, but you got one of these. Works on iPhone, works on that green robot dummy too. All right. Well, I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to open the phone with the Face ID with my face over there. It don't make no sense. All right. Come on. And open up your notes app and then hit a brand new note. Okay. And then this video is a trailer for the brand new podcast, which is known as Creators Unstuck. Creators Unstuck is hosted by Doc Rock and Mary Lou, and we will be helping creators figure out how to get in their content creation capabilities without the feeling of being stuck or Doc's favorite word, overwhelmed. So this sounds like you. Make sure you subscribe to Creators Unstuck. Paste that. But leaving it blank is freaking stupid. I don't care. Oh, my feelings are hurt. You said yes. Leaving it blank is freaking stupid when typing a description is that hard. And my brother-in-law keeps asking me crazy stuff. So I'm going to turn him off and get ready to do the show. Focus is do not talk to me. Wait, but I always have to answer my brother-in-law because he's a cop and he's the reason why I drive my car at whatever speed I wish. He asked me about my rabbit. All right, cool. There we go. So very important, very, 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 very important. If you look yourself up on your stream and you cannot find you, it's because you're not filling out your descriptions. Okay. And then the other thing is on your channel info, when it asks you about your stuff, make sure you fill it in. And Mark, you was here last week when we said that Marshall is creating it for us. And we are, if you listen to the first episode, it will mention sponsored by PodPack because Marshall is building it. So rather than build a logo, we did the thing that's smart. I'm busy, she busy, hire somebody. That's it. Because otherwise you'll be like sitting there thinking about it. And my thumbnail that I use for the audio podcast is absolute trash, but I made it anyway because I wanted people to see. This is super dumb, but I said, hey Chad, I need a podcast logo that says Creators Unstuck. And first he gave me something that was a little bit psycho. I just want to show you how cool this is. First he gave me that, which I thought was cool, but I was like, nah, let's make it a little bit more businessy. And so this gave me this, and I was like, bet.
This is our podcast.
Yeah, I erased it. I erased it on the real one. I just erased it with a pencil. And then I said, oh, by the way, Chad, podcast artwork needs to be 3,000 by 3,000. What you sent me was 1,000 by 1,000. That doesn't make any sense. And it says, it's very important that whenever I say podcast artwork, I mean 3,000 by 3,000. He was like, cool. Here it is, 3,000, 3,000. A-hole, why didn't you say that in the first place? And I was like, well, I thought you was Chad. I thought you knew everything, player. And he was like, I tell you what, Doc Rock, I'll tell everybody on the internet about that one time in 12th grade with Stacy Jenkins. Shut up, Chad. I'll punch you in the...
It's a whole thing.
Chad.
You and Chad got a whole thing. See, Chad and I are friends. Like, we're
Chad
working on things
stuff.
together.
Sorry, Stacy Jenkins. Anyway, I just made that up. See, y'all are gullible. Anyway, so I put that there. This was the trailer episode, and then I have the first episode, which we already did. 17 people took the time out of their capabilities to watch of it. Thank you very nicely for doing that. This is basically that trailer episode. So now what I'm gonna do is switch my account to the real deal Holyfield
Podcaster.
Hey,
Looking to
stop
get-
talking, and then I'm gonna go into studio and I will flip the other episode live. Okay. So now in the beginning, when you start your show, you kind of want to have 2 or 3 episodes when you send it to Apple, because I did it wrong so many times. Before I would just put the first episode, and then you put the second, and then you put the third, and you're waiting for it to sort of build momentum. Well, it actually takes maybe like a little more than a week to propagate all of the podcast getting got places, right? So the reason why you generate a trailer episode is that gives the podcast getting places a chance to do its thing. The second reason why you want to start out the gate with 2 or 3 episodes is if someone finds it and they love it, are you going to leave them hanging until they can get to the next one? Even in TV shows, oftentimes the premiere is 2 hours. They do it as 2 episodes back to back. Some do it as a long 2-hour show, but what a lot of guys started doing recently is doing 2 hours back to back. So the episodes slightly tie together, right? A lot of people do that with their grand finale too. They'll do 2 shows back to back that close it out. Go through your history of watching TV. Now, let's pick Apple TV. 3 episodes at launch. You got to wait a week. Then you can get 4. You know what I mean? Netflix too. A lot of times they'll do 2 episodes or 3 episodes at launch, and then you got to wait a week, and then so you never come out the gate with just one. If the pros don't do it, why would you? And then be like, oh, they can't find my podcast because the person loved it and you left them blue. Never mind. You know what I was going to say. What is the word? I'm not going to use the word. Yes, Rich says audio pen is life. There you go. And let's see. I'm just making sure. Yes, you are called out. You are called out, Cece. 100%. Thank you, Paul. Paul is, see, the smart Paul. I'm going to stop saying that for Duncan kills me. Yes, it is very important that you put this info in here. So now let me do something real quick. Let me go to content, and then look, there it is. Now, the other thing which I haven't done yet, and this will be a full episode, we'll talk about this later. In this particular one, I did leave the title Creators Unstuck Podcast Trailer because that is the title, right? But on this particular one, it's just the episode name. I want you to notice what's missing from this. All of the people who do their podcasts, y'all be killing folks. This is not Creators Unstuck Episode 2, Unstuck Yourself, or Creators Unstuck Episode 1. It's just Unstuck Yourself. You do not have to put the name of your podcast in the title of the episode. This is different from a YouTube video. You're making it very muddy for the search engine. Just put the name, right? So I am not putting anything other than that. All I'm going to do is press on the edit button. I did, again, fill out the descriptions, threw some chapters up in here. I do need to add the links for the sponsors, which is, let's do this real quick. Get your PODPAKTODAY. And then I almost messed this up the first time. I'm not going to do it now. https://THEPODPAK. In the episode of Mary Lou, I said pod pack. I didn't say the pod pack. And then, and then boom, https://docpopps.com. There we go. So we got those. The other thing that we need to add to this description, which I'll add later, doesn't matter for now. We need to put in the link for the book that you picked. and a link for the iPad. Oh, I just gave away the show. It doesn't matter. So I'm just going to click on this
Spoilers.
here, and I'm going to press public. And then I'm going to say done and save. So now there's 2 episodes. We're going to record today. And because I'm psycho, I'm going to edit this bizacch today. And then you will see that it's, bang it out. Just bang it out. So when someone that's not in the family subscribes to the show, they're coming upon 2, almost 3 episodes because our trailer was about 10 minutes. The other thing I want to show you is, again, I'm trying to eat my own dog food in this particular show in order to let you know how simple this process is. Bingo, bango. I did edit the whole thing in scenery, right? Because scenery is 15 bones a month. Final Cut is 300. And I don't want nobody saying, I don't know how to use Final Cut. It's hard. It's difficult. It's whatever. I edited the entire showgram in scenery. Now, what you'll notice is on the bottom, this is a single audio file. The one that came from the show is here. I turned that down because once I finished editing, I exported audio only of this track, sent it to Auphonic, told Auphonic to bless that joint, and then I put it back. Okay? And then for the Auphonic, I'll show you something even crazier because I'm Doc, and I just want you to see that I ain't making this mess up. If I go to here, I sent in my file. Oh, you can't see that. Hold on. Let me go back. Can I edit this project? I can't edit the project. Maybe I can. Hold on 1 second. Edit. So I sent in my audio file and I sent in Mary Lou's audio file. And I had it mux them together because in Auphonic, you can say, create a new production, and you can tell it to create a new multi-track production. So I put in from Ecamm, my isolated audio, filled out all the stuff, put in Mary Lou's isolated audio, filled out all the stuff, and then Auphonic did its thing. If someone needs a full 2D on that, we can do that at a different time. But I just want y'all to know you can make your life easy. So at this point in time, we didn't give you any expensive software. We didn't give you anything difficult to use. We didn't give you any opportunity. We didn't give you any opportunity to make some lame excuse as to why you can't get this done. All right. Let's see. Let me check on y'all before we get started. Boom. What up, Chrissy? Chrissy's in the building. Jason is here after 75 Hard is over. He showed back up. Where's AT? At least 3 with the trailer. There you go. And there we have Gizmodo just like riding up in the building. Now Maestro,
Yes.
Maestro gonna be like, "Hey, Paul, Gizmo gets to be on the screen. What is popping?"
Maestro's sleeping.
Yes, Chris, I am gonna mirror with the audio, but I will build the audio one next week because I want people to see it. So yeah, it's a little out of order for normal people, but I'm going to build audio because I want to show them all you're doing is stripping the audio file, which I did because of Auphonic, and then I'm just going to go and send it to there. Okay, question regarding the title of episode of YouTube. Is that not a place to SEO? Also, what about podcast title and other hosts other than YouTube? I don't know about y'all. I cannot stand looking at my podcast feed where I'm looking at Paul's Duncan Amazing Cat Life, and every title of every episode is Paul Duncan's Amazing Cat Life. The fold is now gone. Everything I need to know is past the fold. It is absolutely unnecessary to name the podcast in the episode. Just say what the title is, right? Picking a good litter box. Tuxedo cats are a pain in the butt. Siamese cats is not really from Siam. I don't know where they got that name from, but that's not it. See, that's a long title, but I mean, it's still there, right? You're going to pack it the way you would pack a book, right? Go to the bookstore and you don't see Yeah, just think about it like that, because you got to scrub through a tiny interface. Look at your phone and look at the episodes that get on your nerves, because you can't even tell what it is, right? It's better and also you're looking for consistency, so you don't need to put the title of the episode in the thumbnail unless you have a very good way to do it where it's legible at a tiny space, right? Some episodes on some podcasts are one-word names, which is cool, because then you can stick that in the thumbnail. That'll work, right? But if you had, like, Paul's Amazing Cat podcast, why do cats scratch your face at night? You can't read that in the tiny, tiny little thing. Why you make the face, Lou?
Talk about the topic being scratching your face at night.
I don't have a cat. I'm allergic, so I don't know what the hell cat subjects are. Y'all do. That's you and Paul. You know what I'm saying? That is just you and Paul. I know nothing about these things. So when you listen, we all know that Cyber what's his face was acting a fool. So some of y'all might, especially in the middle South, y'all might run into some issues because the internet is still recovering over there. Yes, Apple Podcasts and players number it for you. It messes with your opportunity to get found. Yes, so don't do that. Yes. Cat's Matt wake up calls. That's real, Paul? Does Mike go, Paul, wake up, man.
Ours is Gizmo just jumping on us. She gets on the headboard and is like, wake up.
Yo, that's super funny. Okay, so let's go ahead and build our running show real quick. And then, Mary Lou, I'm going to do
so we
coffee.
need suggestions from the folks. What topic do you think we should do next? If our first one was how to unstuck yourself, we can go all sorts of directions. But if there's something that is plaguing you today, just drop it in the chat, and maybe that's what we can do next. I'll show you how to build it out. Do you know your pick of the week this week, Doc?
Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah. What's it going to be?
Oh, now she's going to put me on the spot. I had a couple.
It's okay if you don't have it yet. That's okay.
No, I do. I have a couple. And the one that I came out hard with the iPad last week. So I was thinking I need to come out with something free, but I don't. I still think I'm going to come with an expensive one, and I'm going to pick my new Tiny.
Oh, yeah.
Tiny 2 Light. I want to call it Junior. But it's not.
What am I going to pick today?
Let me put this over here.
What can
I came hardcore on the first one with an expensive pick.
Topic, workflows that keep you from getting stuck. That's a request out there.
How many times have you closed the drawer on your cat? Yo, Miss D, what is up?
So some of the things that we could talk about, let's see. Responsibility.
Oh, that's my favorite. That is my favorite.
Like authenticity, yay or nay, right? That could be a thing. Interview tips. Like where are we stuck? Where are we feeling stuck today?
Man, how come only Kathy is the only one that has something to say? 34 people watching. Kathy, the only one that got a topic. And yet y'all ain't doing your work. So something is getting you stuck. Fess up.
Flow, what is that?
Fess up. Don't listen to Mark. Mark is talking about nerd stuff, and this is not the Nerd Stuff podcast. Signal flow means how does the audio come out of your mic and go into the cable that then ends up into this is where you find out. When you have
it's a
glitch.
technical thing.
Yeah, that's a whole that's not creators and stuff.
Let's see. I had a note. Hold on. What did I write in my notes? Listening to a talk from our fave, Seth Godin.
Yeah.
The change I seek to make and the people I seek to serve stood out to me.
I think that is important. The other one that he brought up, which I thought was a good topic, is you need to know what is your minimum viable audience.
Yes, that's really been standing out to me too, because it's like you can't be everything to everybody.
Dude, I've been telling the LGL crew this mess for the longest time, but I think it's something that people don't listen to. But the reason why you want to know your minimum viable audience is because if you tell yourself that I need to get to 100,000, you're doing all of this crazy work, you're chasing, you get to 100,000, and then you don't feel any more accomplished than before you started, right? So this is a very weird topic because, like, man, I was listening to E, and she's saying things that I just want to reach through the screen and whop her upside the head. I'm like, yo, I see you as gangster from my end, and until I heard you talking to Seth, I didn't know you had these inadequacy thoughts, which she ain't got no business having. Like, top at her law school.
I thought the same thing. I was like, girl,
top at her law school, speaks 3 freaking languages, is out here crushing it, and is feeling some type of way. Why? Because comparing herself to a really, really old CWM who has been doing what he been doing for damn near 40 years. You started 4 years ago.
That's a different game.
How are you comparing yourself? Like, he started before a computer was a computer. Matter of fact, I can find you the episode where that idiot told you not to buy one. It's on PBS.
Oh. Okay, cool. Okay, so we got Sharante saying made all the plans, but not executing. All right, that's something. What else do we have in here? The interview tips did come up.
Mark, what do you mean by segmentation? Oh, I thought you had like a mute button on deck. Well, then just type fast. All right, this is cool.
Interview tips. What else did we say? Workflow that keeps you from getting unstuck. You know what I'm kind of seeing here as a trend is...
Thank you, Mark.
Removing resistance in your workflow.
Bro, that should almost be my book. I have said this thousands of times. It is a #1 book of mine. I read it at least twice a year to keep that resistance talk out my damn head. But it's The War of Art by Stephen Pressfield. And it's funny because SG brought it up in the conversation. And I have been listening to Pressfield forever, right? Because he was the first person that gave me that inclination of what the resistance is. And that's where I got that subject matter about listening to that voice in your head. When you dig deep, you can find out exactly who said it to you and just turn them out. Turn them out.
Unsubscribe.
Ooh, boom. Get it again, Luigi. Are your actions leading towards your goal? How to be more consistent. Got the stuff done. But just don't get it done week after week. Okay, got it. All right, so come on, Luke, pick one. We got a lot of shows.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yeah, that's causing you to get... I'm just like taking notes on what people have said here because these are all great. Okay, so I think what I am interested in today is just overall the resistance, right? Whether it is your thinking, whether it is your workflow, like different types of resistance. Okay. What do you think about that?
I like it.
Resistance, right? And so it's like it could be workflow, could be in your head, right? And the thinking. It's like physical, emotional, and mental.
Yeah, there we go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That can be our things. This is how I think when I'm brainstorming stuff like this, is like whatever the top topic is, I need 3 things. There has to be 3 for it to be a complete it's basically how I used to write essays, is that you just needed the 3 and then you break it down from there. So physical being like your set, your tools, your,
Yeah, I just did it.
environment.
I put it in bullet 1. What's the emotional?
Okay. Emotional is your like, is emotional and mental are different? Physical, emotional.
Well, in my head, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are different because my get it done at all cost mentality is a mental situation. I don't put any emotion into it, which is why I can do it. So that mental fortitude of shut up and do it, that's mental,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Whereas emotional would be like, I'm sad. Fuck sad. I didn't say that. Or, you know what I mean? Like, I think that's different.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so like in the chat, right, we've got Equip Institute saying emotional and mental are different, but then Kevin is saying emotional and mental are the same. So I'd like some examples, just because that I'd never really thought about that.
Because Kevin is got a screw loose like me. I'm not going to say that about Flo because she could probably beat me up. So
emotional is the heart, mental is the head. Mental, so can be practiced, can be treated. I just did like a Google search. I was like,
this one is good.
What's the what?
Flo, I think this one is good, but I swear I cram to understand, and I kind of need help, right? I don't seem to think I know all these things, but I kind of need help. I don't understand, like, maybe if you're over 40, how do you still need to get tough mentally? Like, isn't that a little late for you? Anybody get mentally tough after they was 40? Because I've been like this since I was 14, 15. But I did go to the Army like in the 11th grade. So, and then went back and finished my last year of high school and then went back to the Army. So I got schooled up real quick. Yes, mental is how you process. That's the thinking. See,
I love that.
I see mental as the cerebral side of it, right? Whereas emotional is inside out. What she put?
So it's like the feels versus the process.
Yeah, see, I don't have those feels. I tell all those little cartoons to shut so I can do what I got to do.
He's a liar.
I'm not gonna be a total a-hole and say I don't have them, because trust you me, when I see Luis and Aiden, like, playing games or whatever, or just cracking up, or just the way Aiden looks at Luis, like, it definitely gives me the feels. But I'm not going to let that affect my process. That has nothing to do with my business. I'm like, listen, Luis, you and Aiden is cute, but you need to get your ass in the car. We got to go. You see what I'm saying? Like, I could do that.
Okay, so then if we go with these 3, then I see where the difference is. You guys in the chat can help us rank from least to most trouble causing for you, between resistance, emotional, and mental, or you can say tools, feels, process, if that works better. So the first one being the least one, just as the order of what we would talk about, with the last one being that this is the one that causes me the most trouble. Like, for me, I think it would be, I would think, this is me projecting on other people, but it is the feels. It's the thing that is for most people. Because what I had addressed, I think that's probably how I addressed things. I did tools first, right? Then I was like, okay, well, then the camera's not the excuse anymore. Yes. Then there was the process of like, how do I get from A to B? Okay, I know how to do that. So that's not an excuse anymore. And then I had to address my feels. And then realize, oh, these things are causing trouble for no reason. And now I'm cured.
Yeah. It is a process. All right, so let's knock this out.
All right, let's go that way. Okay, all right. So gear and skills, right? And then processes. Processes. Processes.
That's why Canadians say process.
Process. And then emotions.
I second that
Got me
emotion.
feeling emotion.
Oh, we just went different. You went Mariah Carey.
Yeah, which one did you do?
I did. I second that emotion. I second that emotion. If you run away with me. Smokey. I can't even. I got dumb.
Okay. I like this. So then, okay, so if we're covering those, then our conclusion is how to address these things.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah?
See, they're not going to like my answers.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's where we have the opposing
yeah, the opposing counsel.
Why there's the two of us. Yeah, there's two sides to the same
coin.
Coin.
Right,
We'll be saying the same things. It's just they're in different tones of voice.
All right. I feel like we're good. Put your pick of the week in there.
I will put it in when I say it.
Oh, okay. All right. So you ready? Let me
yeah, let's do it.
Let me sip the end of this coffee. All right, fam. So you guys can see how this works, right? So here's the main show. I have a screen for me in case something comes up. I have a screen for Lou in case something comes up. We have the Notion screen so you guys can see what's popping. What's popping? Sorry. The browser screen, we don't really need to worry about that. I'll put that in at the end. And then I have this screen to do the promo. I feel like we should record this part first so that I can place it in the... Oh, you know, I would just do it in the show. We can do it in the show. What do you think?
What do you think?
Record it first and I plug it in, or no? Because I want to break the flow. I prefer we do it live. You know why? Because I want I want people to see that if you do it right, you ain't got to spend all your day editing. Because that's what everybody bitches about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to edit. Well, cool. Record
That's
your
been
shit.
my whole soapbox this week was, you don't have to.
Dude, it's funny. And I put it in the comment, but my nickname in radio, I wish my boy Ryan was here today, was One Take Jake, because I was famous for that. I just rolled into the recording commercial thing, and they're like, hey, we need to do a commercial for Jay and Chevrolet. Cool. This Tuesday at Jay and Chevrolet, they are coming at you with a 4% interest sale. All you need to do is bring in any beater. That beater don't even have to run. And JN will give you a minimum of $750 for your trade-in, upwards of whatever your fair market value is. So make sure you show up this Sunday at JN Chevrolet, bring in your beater and bring in your good credit and come out with a 4% interest and get that car of your dreams. I think I'm going to go take a look at the Corvette. Boom. That was it. Like, I used to just record my commercials like that, and I would walk out. They'd be like, hey, but he booked the room for like an hour. I was on the way. I'll keep doing that shit. I need 5 minutes. I'm in, I'm out. I'm about my business. I go back to my office and that's why he read them commercials damn fast.
So, but I do think we don't do this Doc Pops plug in the show.
All right.
Because it requires a little bit of rehearsal. Because there's there's a move to it.
Mm-hmm. When you are in Georgia, stop by Mamacita's and then get the Technicolor coffee and make sure you buy a bag of beans to bring home. This joint is good. Right,
yeah, there's like no choreography to that.
Man, I don't need no damn choreography. I'm dancing.
So you can really just pass things into our rooms?
Yeah. No, I'm sick with it. Just be like...
Let's do it. Fine,
be
go.
like,
do it.
Hey, guys, I want to give you guys a couple of Doc Pops. That's simple. Just like... That's simple. Paul did the wrong damn hand. You seen that? This is why you need rehearsal. Paul did the wrong damn hand.
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
Like this way. And then you got to grab it and then put it on. Your knuckles have to pass the yellow line, Paul. There you go. Look at that. Oh my God. I could be like, and one for you, and then one for you.
It's so velvety.
What?
It's so
Man.
velvety.
Man, Paul is still rubbing it. All right, listen. I need to do the commercial at 4:20. Exactly. Hey, good. You good, Hank? Good to see you, Poppy. All right, we finna record this podcast. Let's get it done.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Record that plug. That way it doesn't hang up the rest of your show flow. No, we're good. My flow is good. I am, what is the word? Oh my God, I can't even think of it right now. It has something to do with taking Metamucil.
I guess we need to start with the black one then.
No, you can do it. You can leave it on there. It could be a part of the show. I'm going to match Lou today.
All right.
I'm going to match Lou today. Like, ooh, they got matching mic filters. And that boy, he's gay. Yes, I am.
Okay, so are you going to say a hook or do you want me to say a hook?
Oh, no, you got to do the hook.
Okay.
I'm going to just do Welcome to Creators Unstuck. And then you hook them. All right, folks, we are breathing it out. Is everybody ready? I need some energy from the audience. I need everybody to be ready. Like, I'm ready.
Yeah, studio audience, let's hear you. Let's hear it.
Come on. How about a round of applause?
And a little preference for you guys. This is like a little like audience participation. When Doc says creators, then we say
Unstuck. Yes. All right. I am opening the Notion doc on the old iPad here. Ooh, yeah. So it just controls iFlow. So there's that. All right, cool. All right, so that's there. Identifying the clog, not the plug. He's stupid. All right, you guys ready? Are you ready for the next comedian? All right. Boom, boom, boom. All right, Paul said, go for it. We got 3 Pauls. There are 3 Pauls in the building. We got 3 Pauls in the building. Now we can do a show with 3 Pauls in the building. All right, just checking my mic location. Make it straight. And y'all are going to laugh, but Mary Lou would tell you this is part of my deal.
He's going to wipe the microphone.
Yes.
And I'm going to look for cat hair.
I keep seeing people with schmutz on their pops when they do their thing. And I'm like, I can't believe you did a whole show schmutzed up. Oh, Rich, I gotta tell you, bro. Wait, before we record this, I gotta tell y'all this funny ass story. It's the craziest thing, and I'm super mind blown by this, but it's incredible. All right, so Instagram has been sending me these advertisements for shirts that are quote unquote designed for, dudes, right? And I was like, all right, let me just take a look at this one, because in the advertisement, I was like, that model looks like my boy Wonderful, right? That's DJ name. His name is Adam Greenberg, but his DJ name was DJ Wonderful. DAFUL, Wonderful. And I was like, that model looks like my boy Wonderful. So if that shirt looks so dope on him, I know it'll look dope on me, because we're roughly the same, except for he's 6'3", right? I'm shorter. I go, so if it fits him, it'll fit me good too. So I said, let me sample 2 of them shirts. So I bought 2. It's from a brand called One Bone, ONEBONE. And they make shirts for like big dudes, right? I got it. It fit like a heavyweight champion. I mean, it is so good. I love it, the fit. And it's funny because in the advertisement, later I saw a second ad, which I'll explain in a second. But I saw a second ad and it had these other two dudes in it, and they kept like putting their hands up, and then your belly don't pop out, right? And I was like, oh, even more so I like it. They cut it so that it doesn't have these problems. I saw this thing pop up on YouTube because the algos are connected, and it was like the story behind the founding of One Bone, and it showed to the founder, Adam Greenberg. It was my boy Wonderful. I didn't recognize him right away because the last time we worked together as DJs was in 2014. And I was like, bruh, I didn't even know it was you. And I bought these, and they're incredible. They're made in Canada. They're not made anywhere else, and they're custom cut, custom fit, and they're really designed for it. So Rich and Hank and Paul, even because Paul's 6'12", any big and tall dudes, really check out One Brand. It's sick. And then you're helping my friend's company out. But I love them. I love them. Karen's mom was like, oh, big boy, you got to get more of those shirts. It's really nice. Exactly. And yeah, she calls me big boy. Because she's 4'9", dude. I'm 6 foot. So it's a big difference between the two of us. But you talk about it's dope, dude. It's a nice, soft shirt, stretchy fabric. And then the waffle one is my favorite, which I recorded the other episode in. But yeah, anyway, so I just had to tell that story because I thought it was super hilarious and would have never noted right away. And then, yeah. All right, let's get started. Let's breathe it out. Last coffee. The caffeine ain't fully kicked in yet. We'd like to welcome Alicia to the studio audience.
AT!
Right, let's go. Thank you, Paul. I don't have any affiliate links yet. I didn't bother to hit Adam up for that, but yeah. Fucking Jason. Jason thought I missed the spot, but it's on his screen. All right, so I'm going to stop the recording in Ecamm. Then I'm going to restart the recording in Ecamm so we get a fresh cut, clean copy. Counting it down in 5, 4. Aloha, everybody, and welcome to Creators
Unstuck.
Yeah, okay. You know what it is. You know what it is.
We did
I'm
it.
Doc Rock. I am one of your hosts of Creators Unstuck, and this is the podcast where we help, creators get unstuck. What are we talking about today, Mary Lou?
We are talking about resistance in your workflow as a content creator. Now, I have definitely had to work through that in my time as a content creator, as a creative, as a human. And I would love to know if that is something that you guys are facing as well. But that's what we're going to talk about today.
You know, it's funny you say that because I until you just brought it up at the very, very second, a lot of the things that get creators stuck is what just get general people unstuck. And so one portion of me really hates the deep dive into labels because I think a lot of times labels can mess with you. So a lot of the things that we are attempting to fix as creators are also things that you just need to fix as being a general human, right? Mm-hmm. They kind of go hand in hand. So yeah, let's dive into that. I am curious from the audience. I want you to tell, we talked about this in the first episode, and we are starting to get some feedback from our crew. So big ups to our crew. Look, we're going to have to come up with a name for them. The Unstuckies? No, I'm just joking. We'll figure out a name for the fam. Wait till you guys see the ending that I came up with. It's super stupid, but it's also good. I can't wait. Let's end the show now so I can just tell them. I don't like keeping it a secret. Anyway, so we got some good info from you, but we still want to know, what has you unstuck? What's keeping you unstuck? And so in the process of doing that, we thought this week we would identify the clogs. Because maybe you're not even sure what has you stuck. There's a bunch of things, and you're not sure which one of those is the root cause. When I worked at Apple, Steve always told us to look for the root cause. And what he meant by that, there were people who solved the problem by changing the light bulb. If the light bulb burns out, change the light bulb, continue to move. Steve said, if the light bulb keeps burning out, anybody thought to check the lamp? And people don't do that, right? Because they immediately go, it must be the light bulb, right? Computers, common situation. This not working. This not working. People will come in. We change the cable, and it just works. And it's like you didn't think to check the $8 cable. It must naturally be the $3,000 computer that's causing the issue, not the $8 cable. Right? So in that same vein, I think a lot of times people are identifying the clogs by things they hear other people say, so they assume they have it, but they haven't done that internal introspection. That's the right word. I had to get my word right.
Yes, you got the word. So we'll start from the widest, most apparent one, which you're talking about, like people are seeing just the thing that's closest to their face. So the first point of resistance that was for me that I addressed first was the physical, the tools, the gear. Like, oh, do I not know how to use this camera? Is that why I can't create? Do I not have the right light? Is that why I can't create? And addressing all of those things. Is it that I have to take time to set up the set? Fine, I addressed that. I made a permanent set that does not ever move. That can't be an excuse anymore. And I just slowly ticked off everything until I got to the point where I was like, okay, now we have to face some other things.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm not intentionally in support. I'm technically in marketing, but because I know this stuff, people tend to ask me support-oriented questions. And people say, well, the reason why they can't do this is because they haven't figured out how to use their camera yet. And I'm like, your camera came with a book. Like, what are you doing? This, you could just pick up the manual and go through the basics. Well, I don't really have time for that. Well, all right, pimp, then I can't fix you. No one else can come and show you how to use that camera, right? And you can watch tutorials and you can learn from other people, but if you don't actually put it in your hands and press some buttons and start figuring it out, you will forever still not know how to use your camera. There are people listening to this right now that bought a camera and they got it on and it works, but they don't know how to use it. Okay? And here is where that comes from. They started the conversation with, I am not a techie person. Why did I give you the Obama speech right now? Because I want to make sure that sticks in your head. Never, ever iterate, get it, iterate. Okay, there's a new docism. You can write that one down. Never iterate those stupid words, I am not a tech person. Nobody is a tech person. There is no such thing. This is a label that we generated that makes some people think that all the way back from VHS, before computers got popular, we had the flashing 12s, right? You go to their house, their VHS is always flashing 12. Why? Because they didn't set the clock. They would say they didn't know how to set the clock. Really, they just never tried because there was literally buttons on front of the VHS, H, M, S. Done. It was that difficult. And so I used to go around to people's houses and fix their clock. And they go, oh my God, oh, he's a genius. He knows how to. No, you just didn't even try. You really didn't try.
You gotta push some buttons.
Push some buttons.
And the switch that I made from I'm not, right? I'm not a tech person. I'm not good at money. I don't know how to cook. I don't know how to XYZ. I took that out. It was I'm learning. I'm still developing. I am still getting to know this thing because it's all a process because you didn't know what you didn't know until you knew it. And now you know it. I didn't know how to cook and then I knew how to cook because I took the time to do it. But if I had always just told myself oh, I don't know how to cook, I definitely know those people who are it's just because they don't want to cook. That's okay.
That's okay.
But you can't say.
Then be a carry-out queen. Say, I'm a carry-out queen. Cool with it. Identify that. So, you said something very, very valuable right there. I learned this a long time ago. I can't remember who I learned it from. But you don't say, I'm quitting smoking. You say, I am a non-smoker. There's a different mindset. It's the smallest little thing to your brain, but it's a very different mindset between I am trying to quit something that is contentious. It's a fight. It's a battle. There's tension with myself and my inner well-being, so to speak. But if you say I'm a non-smoker, boom, you've changed your mindset. So now you got to get to that, right? And I know it's a small change. So when people say I'm not a tech person, they're legit. like blocking themselves. And I would this. Oh, well, you know how to do that because you're a techie. I was not born with a keyboard in my ass. I made an executive decision when I was little wee children that I was going to learn this stuff because it excited me, and I knew that one day it would dominate the world. Now, how does an 8-year-old have that kind of insight? Star Trek. And later, Star Wars. And I was 11. But between those two, and then what's the robot one? You guys don't even remember this one. Johnny's robot. Oh my God, Lost in Space. There you go. Between Lost in Space and Star Trek and Star Wars, I knew that computers was going to be my thing. So I always took the time when everybody else was reading Sports Illustrated or Boys Life or sneaking their dad's Playboys, I was reading Computer Shopper. And my dad's Playboys. So you could do both. You know, there was a time where people thought you could not be a jock and a nerd at the same time. I had to do both because I wanted to play sports and I was good at it, but my mom was going to kick my butt. So I ran away from home and I moved to Hawaii and I got my Korean mom. And she's like, you didn't do your homework yet? Huh? No, I'm a grown. I don't got to do my, okay, go ahead and not do that homework. Yeah, that blue ruler come out. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, it's just an executive decision, bro. It's legit an executive decision. Okay, so I think it's important. Gear and skills, you have to just make the time for it. You have to learn how to do it. But also nowadays, a phone is dope. You know, you can get very simple microphones that will just work for you. That kind of stuff is too easy to overcome at this point. There's so many fantastic tools. That one's not that big a deal. So let's move past
and like,
that.
Like you had said, like with the carry-out queen, right? Like you don't want to cook, that's okay. You can say you don't know how to cook or you don't want to cook, you carry-out queen. You don't have to learn how to use like the shallow depth of field and the 3-point lighting and the like audio interfaces. You can be the iPhone content creator. Like that is fine. Bro. It's more than fine. Like sometimes it's like better.
Gretchen showed us in the chat a little while ago this girl who's she's a wilderness girl. She's out by herself with a van in the forest, and she records everything on the iPhone because of her being on the van in the forest, and she's doing good. And again, we just watched an incredible video from one of our friends who's like 30 some odd million people on TikTok. I think that's her current number. And of course, it's TikTok. So it's all phone. You know what I mean? It's funny because her YouTube channel is nowhere near that amount. And then she's now figuring out I should be on YouTube because long content is a little bit still the move. Everybody got high on short content for the last couple of years. And if we're realizing there's no depth in that, but that's a different subject. But yeah, so you don't have to learn everything. There's a lot of people that know how to press the gas pedal and the brake and they can barely reverse, but they drive every single day. You know what I mean? They're not Lewis Hamilton. Big ups to the man. That's my favorite driver. But yeah. Anyway, so what do you think about the second portion? This one's tough for me because I have so many thoughts on this and I'm going to try to leave space for people to breathe.
Okay. Yeah. So the next point of resistance that I definitely faced after I learned how to use all of my gear and learned how to edit and do all of those things, that was not an excuse anymore, was the processes of how do I X, Y, Z? What is the workflow? What is the way that I do this? Is there a checklist? It's just really the answer to that is you're disorganized. Like at least that was my history, was like the processes didn't exist. So I had to build them. But then when I built them, now it was like, now what? You have to keep looking deeper.
I want everyone to lean into what Lou just said. She said it's because you're disorganized. I know exactly that feeling. Okay, for me, it was back in the day when OmniFocus and Things 3 and all this stuff first came out and everybody was starting to get into the whole productivity bros, right? I say that because most of the productivity people were dudes and it made people feel some type of way. And that's where the term of like toxic productivity, you know, people started to get mad at Gary Vee. Gary Vee was still always just telling you facts and you just didn't like it. But if you were to watch a Matt Diavala or a Thomas Frank. I'm going with the current ones now. It's very easy to feel inadequate in your organization, right? And so that would lead you to believe that you're disorganized. I know some people who are massively disorganized, but yet they know exactly where everything is and they get a lot of stuff done, right? It's organized confusion, if you will. So don't look at one of the clean desk kids and think you got to be that to call yourself organized. That's not necessarily what it means, right? Don't let the productivity toxicity get you. The perfect background with one flower, one coffee cup, wooden desk accessories, and a slightly raised monitor. Yo, my desk don't look like that. And honestly, before they record that video, none of their desks look like that neither. Now, my desk
cracks me up. I was like, there's no way.
No way.
You have stuff on your desk, but like it's a cute video though. Like turn the camera around and you'll see the stacks of boxes from the things they need to review or give away or throw out. Like the laundry's not done. Like it's fine.
Right. They're putting on the show for the little camera and it's cool, whatever, man. Like my desk, I do clean it a lot, but in the middle of the day, it gets crazy. And I try to come in, I clean the desk at least 2-3 times a week and it gets psycho. My brother June and I, we would just laugh because like Pops will spend all day cleaning his desk. That desk be gorgeous. About 15 minutes later, bro, he got like 70 video boxes open, looking for screws, soldering iron out, solder on the table, a brewski in the corner. And I was like, yeah, that was cute, Pops. You cleaned your desk, huh? And he goes, oh yeah, but I had to fix this real quick. And then he runs out the door. So now it's back to, crazy again. So it happens. Don't let that mess with you. But I do want to say something about workflow. People watch. We will do this. I'm even going to say this bad because I know we are probably going to do a show that explains our workflow. Anybody that came for the taping of this, they saw us do a workflow live. It's easy to look at that and feel like yours is going to be inadequate because you don't have the same flow. Looking at somebody's workflow and comparing it to yours is like watching a chef make pasta and then you making pasta. There's a difference. There is a difference, bro. Like they have equipment that you don't have. Your stove does not do what the Viking at the restaurant does. It's nice, it works, it's cute, it's stainless steel, but it doesn't do what the Viking does at the place, right? Their ingredients are at a whole different level. They made their pasta. You bought Berea if you're smart. All the other brands are kind of whack. So the comparison game will mess you up. Don't feel you have to absolutely pick up somebody else's workflow and try to force fit it into you because it's not going to fit. It's just not. You're going to take the best parts of what they do and then bring that into your fold. And then how can I adapt that to work my way?
And I also like to boil it down to what is the most
chef thing?
Simple. Yes, right. We're boiling the pasta. We turned on the oven. We're going to put it in the blender. But I like to really... We can, what's the other one where you reduce the butter, right? We're going to do like a reduction, a process reduction. What is the simplest process that you can come up with? That's why I am always preaching create, release, repeat. Because I know if I, at the bare minimum, make it, put it out, and then plan to do it again, that is a process. That is a checklist that I can go. That doesn't require like notes and like checklists and things like that. It's just make it, put it out, do it again. And then that's where the repetition comes in. And then you can start adding other things on top of it. But before I had like that kind of notion in my head was just like, I need to make. And then my brain would melt.
Man,
because there's too much possibility.
Listen, you keep hitting these out of the park, Big Poppy. You said something that was super, super clean in that. In the process of make and then release and repeat, even today, this is technically the second episode, but the third taping because we taped a trailer episode. We added something to the process, took some things away from the process. We smoothed out the flow. We will have a Creators Unstuck workflow by about episode 10. So if you're on episode 2 and you feel like your workflow is jacked, it's because you do not have enough steps to know what that is, right? When I was a wee lad, I used to watch Ken Griffey Jr. and I was like, yo, that dude is a beast. So I went to the box and I tried to emulate that swing and I could not do it. I struck out so many times. And my coach is like, what are you doing? And I was like, oh, I'm getting in the Griffey stance. He goes, you ain't Ken Griffey? What is your stance? Now, again, that's not a Mitch McConnell freeze. That is called let it marinate. I want you to see that. What is your stance? I do not have the same body mechanics as a Pete Rose or a Ken Griffey Jr. Even when I was standing back there with my mask on, I would try to be Johnny Bench. And he was like, if you do not pull your foot back underneath your buttocks, I will come over there and pop you in the mask. And I was like, well, that's how Johnny Bench stands. You ain't Johnny Bench. Also illegal in high school. So put your foot under your butt and catch the ball. And I was like, oh, okay, you know. And again, I understand the idea now as an adult, why you would want to emulate your heroes. These dudes were banging. If you go back to when I was in school, you go Pete Rose, force, right? Johnny Bench, absolute force. Ken Griffey Jr. and Sr. playing at the same time, absolute force. The Ripken family, absolute force. But what it came up with, I ain't that good at baseball. So I went soccer and football and track. But when I started, everybody starts with Little League Baseball because that's the first one. You start a T-ball, right? You know, you either start there or you start with soccer. And our country at that time, very bad with, like, soccer was weird. Like, that was a way to get in fights at school. You know what I mean? So I get the idea of wanting to emulate your heroes. And I don't think there's absolutely something wrong with it. It's not a complete wash, but you might not be able to put your body in those positions. So watching a Les Freeman or Steve Bartlett or some of your favorite creators out there and you want to be them and you're like, why is my flow different? Because you're different. Well,
it's inspo, not a blueprint.
You are enough, homie. You are ENUFF enough. Some of us is too much.
Oh, and it's like, you know, like with content creation, I remember trying to start a blog because it's like, okay, that's the thing. You start a blog. And I could not, like, I tried it and you don't know until you try things, whether it's going to work for you or not. Like, that's like the key is like, you have to actually do it in order to either improve the process or realize you need to be doing something different. But the key is like, you have to, right? Again, you have to do it. But I remember trying to write this blog and I would just dread sitting down to write this blog. Now you can't stop me because I got AI on my side. That's beside the point. I use that as an assistant for the things that are not useful or inflow for me, because I can come up with the ideas. I can make the video. I did not realize I could do videos the way I do videos until I tried a couple of other things and realized those weren't for me. But how can I show up? I can talk. I can put myself on camera and I can talk. And then I can learn how to edit a video. And then I can just put it online because it's free distribution. You don't need somebody's permission to show up online. Like, I moved to Los Angeles to work in the entertainment industry, like to be an actress, to be a host. But there was so much waiting for somebody's permission, someone to choose you. But then when it clicks that you do not need permission, you could just do it. Girl, just go.
I love that. You don't need anybody's permission. Like, you can just absolutely go. And, you know, here's one last thing on that sort of side of it is I have my mentors, right? People that I looked up to and I just thought was the smartest people in the world. And one of them is Seth Godin. Like, I mean, from marketing school all the way, I mean, we use Seth Godin books all through marketing school. And as far as I know, homie's a genius. Like, homie is legit a genius. But you know what? In eCam, I'm better than him. Because when he get a problem, guess who he got to ask for the answer? Right? So that was a crazy thing to me, that somebody who I see as infallible pops into my community and be like, hey, y'all, I got a question. And we're like, like I listen. I had a full ass. I needed to grab the defibrillator off the wall myself, and because I was like, Seth is in here. Seth doesn't know how to use it. He can't let me help him. And it was just a small problem, but I was able to help. And then we got him into our support mechanism and figured out what the problem is. But to see one of your heroes actually come off the mount and be like, hold up, people, what's going on down here, normal folks? I have a tech question. And I'm like, I can help him with that. You are doper than somebody who you're about to help. And then eventually they'll catch up to you, whatever. But that is the thing. You are enough. At that moment in time, I'm not as marketing phenom as him, but I'm ecam phenom. So I can pay back all of what he gave to me. Not even close. I owe him a lot more. but it just felt good. It felt good.
With the topic of Seth Godin, there's something that he said that pertains to the last bullet point, the last point that we want to cover. But first, I want to know about your pick of the week.
Ooh. Dang, I like that, dude. See, this podcast, the one-on-one, build a little tension, leave them hanging, leave them with the blue. Never mind. I almost said it twice today. I can't say that. Anyway, so going back to topic one, gear. Let's take some pains away from folks. This is known as the Osbot Tiny 2 Lite. It is the big little brother of the Osbot Tiny 2, which I have right here, which up until now was literally one of my favorite web cameras. If I'm being honest, this is still slightly better. This is the light version. But what I like what they did was by taking out some of the things that a lot of people won't use, they could bring the price point down. So this is a very inexpensive 4K web camera that brings incredible quality. There was a gap from about pandemic time until now, a little bit like maybe a year ago, where people were just, all things that were out were outclassing web cameras, right? So everybody was going out and buying things like this to do their video. This is a $2,500 body with this is a cheap $200 lens, but it's almost $3,000, right? I can get just as good a picture quality out of this. Well, not just as good, close enough. Let's be honest. I can get close enough picture quality to that Sony out of this little wee lad, and anybody can operate this. I could put this in the hands of my auntie, and she's going to plug in a USB-C cable, and it's going to work. And she's going to throw up her little hands, and it's going to zoom in and zoom out, and then the framing, and it has all of that. It has great microphones. It's super light. You could travel with it. And it has a little base that you can, use it to clip onto your monitor if you're using a notebook. So if I wanted to attach it to the top of my little iPad here, I could and just stick it right there on top of the iPad. And then I am ready to plug it in and go to town. So I will put a link in the description. It is found at obsbot.com. And it's the Osbot Tiny 2 Lite. And that's my pick of the week, especially for someone who wants to look better on camera, but is not ready to jump all of their money and not feed their kids. I need to feed some kids and still make some good content.
Well, speaking of looking good on camera, but it also sounding good on camera, as my pick of the week is definitely, honestly, the Doc Pops. It's the Doc Pops. It is, mine just came in because Doc was like, oh, we're going to make some videos. We need to make some promos. So if you've ordered yours, they're going to come later in the year because we've got to get these pre-orders up. So if you have not yet ordered your Doc Pops, get them now so we can all have these because they're beautiful and they pop, they sound good. I've definitely gotten the other color of mic windscreens that, the colorful ones that are out there on the internet, and it's not this quality. Doc has put work into it. They look good. They sound good. We're just obsessed with the feel of these.
Paul
and this
Paul
pink
kills me. Paul be on there like this, so soft.
And so depending on what microphone you have, there's definitely one. If you have the MV7 or MV7 Plus, that's what this one is. So that one works well there. Also, if you want the little bit longer one, this is the one for the SM7B. So this is what it looks like on the MV7. So it's just, a little bit of a different look. I like this one because I feel like I take up a lot of space when I talk. And then with the pod mic, which I think there's not a lot of covers for these ones, for this microphone, but it just looks so good. And if you want to stand out on camera, you want something that people are going to see and they're like, whoa, what's that? Like, get a dock pop. Like, the colors are really great. And like in person, like I can't even. We could go on this for forever. This was Mary Lou not sponsored. This was like legit my pick of the week, because when I opened this up, I was like, whoa.
When we recorded the other episode, you didn't have it yet. Listen,
didn't.
Guys, we could take it back to the 80s and then rock the old crop top. Remember dudes used to wear the crop top back in the 80s? I think Paul still rocks that on the weekend.
We can bring that back. That's fine with me.
He got the little crop top. Yo, I remember even football, like I used to have the half jersey because of Barry Sanders. Like Barry Sanders used to wear the half jersey, and my coach is like, boy, if you cut another jersey, I would knock you out. Yes, sir. We just thought it was cool. We thought it was harder to get tackled because they couldn't grab the bottom of your jersey. What happens is when you get stuck under the part where your jersey used to protect you, you never want to wear a half jersey again. So Barry Sanders was just a beast because your stomach is all scratched up from people trying to grab you.
Well, a request for my pop of the week is to
your
my
pop of the week.
My pick of the week is jump to Paul's screen because he had the best ad up.
Dude, this is just my man Paul right here. Hold on, let's see if I can big screen Paul. Oh, it's still in this little format. But yeah, this is super funny. Thank you, Paul, for the support. And let me go back to the regular show. All right, so we got our picks of the week out of the way. And now I am curious. How do we
the deepest core
cut,
of the resistance?
The deepest clog, yes, the deepest clog.
The deepest one. Okay, so in this one of the recent talks with Seth Godin, like, I don't know, I'm just like on a bender now because I found out he popped into the ECAM group. It was like, whoa.
Dude, I've read every single one of his books. Some of them I'd listen to over and over again. A good one to listen to over and over again is Permission Marketing, and then Linchpin. Linchpin has always been one of my favorite SG books, and the man's a legit beast, man. He's a legit beast.
Yeah, and we need to start our Creators Unstuck book club.
Yeah, and we will.
We just need to get the reading list.
I just want you to know something right now, people. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I am putting out into the world that one day, instead of me, Mary Lou, and Paul leaning back, it would be me, Mary Lou, and Seth Godin on the show. I'll just go ahead and put those feelers out in the world right now. Okay?
Yes. Okay, so in one of the recent podcast interviews, I heard him talk about this, the concept of imposter syndrome, right? So like we've just definitely discussed, we have like opinions about that, but he had a really neat way of addressing this emotion that you are not the one to help. If you're on a dock, right? And you see somebody drowning. Of course, the lifeguard would be better to go save them, but the lifeguard's not available. You are standing on the dock. You could actually help this person. Are you going to be like, well, I'm not good enough. I shouldn't. I'm just going to let them drown? Or are you going to jump in the water and help them out? Who cares if somebody is better equipped at it than you? If you are the person in front of the person that needs the help, jump in the water. And that is a way to address that emotion of imposter syndrome. And emotions, like there's all sorts of emotions that can cause resistance for you. For me, the major emotion that kept me from doing things was not necessarily that I shouldn't be, but that I shouldn't be seen. And then I addressed it eventually, that I was like, that's not my emotion, because there's something in me that wants to be seen, that wants to perform. I've always been a performer. I've always wanted to be on things, but there's always this little voice in the back of my head that's like, no, sit down. You're not as cute as you think you are. Sit down. Stop saying that you feel confident about things. Sit down. When I was like, but that's That's not me. So I unsubscribed to her. And here I am.
You know me, that's
You
my
guys.
favorite thing that we ever talk about is just like unsubscribing from things that don't work in your favor. Like, why would you subscribe to something that doesn't work in your favor? Let it go, Elsa. Let it go. You mentioned this, and I think about it. So, one of our people in the crew, Yolanda, she's making this podcast, and her podcast is about the Baltimore Ravens. Let's call it Ravens Talk with Yolanda. Let's call it. I think that's exactly what it's called. I was like, let's call it. No, I think she kind of branded it. Anyway, so it could easily be, I'm going to pretend to be the monkey mind inside Yolanda's head. I don't know if I can do this, because if there's a show put out by Ed Reed, more people are going to listen to Ed Reed than they're going to listen to me. That statement might be 100% true. For Mary Lou's sake, Ed Reed was one of the more venerable, famous Ravens, because he was a badass and he stopped a lot of people from catching footballs. Okay. But there are people who are going to want to listen to Yolanda's voice because it's more what they are. She's a fan. She's a female. She is speaking from a level of wanting the best for the team, not necessarily needing to protect her reputation. Right? Ed, while being one of the best players ever to play the game, has a reputation to upkeep, is going to, be talking from a place where he can't really overly badmouth the organization because, once a Raven, always a Raven type of situation. That's for any team, by the way. I'm just using them as an example because it matches her story. So, yeah, it's like you said, the person standing on the dock is the best lifeguard at the moment. Sometimes you're the best lifeguard because you're the different perspective, right? So there are people who are going to feel like I can kick it with Yo because we are similar. I am nowhere near Ed Reed. Well, I play safety, so I'm close, but still not that good, right? You know what I'm saying? So I think you're definitely right in that. There's definitely people on the internet who have shows that know more about cameras than Mr. Camera Junkie, but I like his delivery. So I'm going to watch him because he is the level that I need right now. To make that shorter explanation and make more sense, I like spicy food, right? Mary Lou doesn't. If she's my homie, if she's going to hang out with me, she's going to have to get her Scoville game up. So I am going to start her with Tabasco. Because Tabasco has a Scoville scale of a fingernail. And I'm going to slowly work her way up to Evil Chicken Korean Ramen, which has a Scoville scale of like 2 million. You know what I'm saying? And I can't even eat that one. My brother June is full blood Korean. He can't eat that one. That one hurts. There's a few people, I think our mom can, but there's a few people that can eat the Evil Chicken Korean ramen, the Budak ramen. Yo, that joint is hot. But if you start at Tabasco, you can slowly work your way up. Actually, you can start at Frank's Red Hots, and then, which is buffalo sauce, and then we move you into Tabasco, and then we work your way on up the chain, and eventually you're able to handle it. You're absolutely able to handle it. So it's the same thing. Somebody's going to want to get you in where you get in because they can ride with you. They want to be a part of something. They don't just want to be on the outside looking in. How much is that doggy in the window? Woof, woof. Don't add that to the playlist, Kathy.
Right, and then like another thing with the feels, right, with the emotions that can stand in your way for creating is that feeling of, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it. But it's like, I don't know, you don't feel like making breakfast all the time, but you're hungry, so you got to eat. You don't feel like going to work, but people still go to work. It's not about your feelings here. If you change that to, I am choosing to not make my videos today, now that's on you. That's taking responsibility.
That's empowerment.
But I choose to make my videos, even if I don't feel like it. I'm choosing to do it, and that'll just change everything because you can choose. You can choose.
See, Mary Lou is the best, yo. Let me tell you why. Anybody who's seen my talks when I go around the country and I speak, my third slide, it literally says choices. Because at the end of the day, whether you win or lose at this, it's all about choices. And a lot of people, putting it on your feelings is actually moving the responsibility to a feeling or an emotion or something that's technically somewhat out of your control. If you're like me, you just don't have feeling, you don't care, right? But if you are giving it to the emotion, you're saying that emotion is in control. You have let go of the wheel. Let Jesus take the wheel. No, Jesus, sit your ass in the back. I'm driving. You know what I'm saying? So don't let Jesus take the wheel, right? You be in control of that thing and say, I am choosing today to do jack. I'm going to sit at home and I'm going to watch football round. And then tomorrow, I just got double work. But I made that choice. It is never somebody else's choice. So when people, I say this all the time. When people say, oh, well, this blah, blah, blah is coming in and it's taking my job. And I'm like, well, because when you had opportunity to take those classes that would move you up the skill level, when you had opportunity to work overtime when the boss asked, when you had opportunity to increase your skill level to take on a whole different position, when you had opportunity to make yourself so invaluable that you can't be replaced, you chose 3-day weekend. You chose parade. You chose going to the Red Sox game. You chose to go home and say that you want to spend time with your kids while your kid play video game and you sat in the back opening the slits. You chose what everybody says, I need the weekend to spend time with my kid, when what you do is put your kid in the car and you drive them to the activity and you let them do that all day while you go back home and sit in your garage. And then when the kid get picked up, you go pick them up. And then you order pizza for dinner. And then you send them to bed and you go to bed. You literally spent the time it takes to go from your house to the football game with your kid. So you told those lies to everybody because it was the societal norm. You told those lies to everybody because it made you feel good at the moment. And now you're getting passed up on that promotion by Dave, and then you want to blame Dave for taking your job. Nah. Dave was like, sorry, kid, I hate to disappoint you, but we're going to make so much money I can take you to Disneyland whenever you want. But I have to work this next 2 years like a maniac so that we can spend all types of vacations up in the Magic Kingdom. Kid's like, all right, Dad, take your ass to work. Now, 2 years later, your son don't play football no more. He only plays video game. He don't talk to you because you never took him to Disneyland. And Dave and his kids walk around with Mickey Mouse ears going, hey, Mike, you want to go to Disneyland with us? And then you feel some type of way. That was you. You made those choices. So stop blaming it on other stuff. Like, make the choice to be effective. Make the choice to be dope. Make the choice to have an impact. Make the right choice. Don't be afraid to make the wrong choice, though, because you can always fix it.
Right. And it's just about making choices. It's like the when you just don't make any choice.
Even worse.
Then that's the stuck part, right?
Yeah.
But you make a choice, you use like to the best of your ability, you are with the intention of it being the next best step. It may not be. You might step on like, something weird, and then you're like, wait, whoa, let me back up. But at least you made a
step
movement.
on something weird.
I was trying to think of like a sea urchin or like something spiky or something like that. But then I was like, it's weird. I don't know. It's squishy.
You want to know how do you solve the poison of a sea urchin?
How?
I live in Hawaii. You got to pee on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the same with like jellyfish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they neutralize it.
Yes, and no choice.
So sometimes
if
you step on it, you step in the wrong way, just pee on it, back up, pick a different choice.
That is definitely a very, very important statement there from the live studio audience, Alicia. No choice is absolutely a choice. So
that's
facts. I'm just saying, like you're in control of more than you think. Let's just put it that way. You're in much more control than you think.
Right. So like to address the three things that we had, right? It's the physical, the gear, and the skills.
The skills, correct.
Right? You can choose to learn those things.
Skillshare.
The process.
Look at Mary Lou's class.
You see my class on Skillshare. The processes, right? You can choose to try again. You can choose to create, release, and repeat. That's the way you're going to improve if you choose, right? And then with the emotions, there's like the book that I had recommended in the last episode is the Untethered Soul, with this concept that you've got the voices in your head and then you've got your consciousness. Your consciousness is you. You can choose because these thoughts, those emotions, they're not you because you can hear them. So they're not you. You are the receiver. You're in the audience of that. And you can be like, oh, I'm going to change the channel. Right? Sometimes you need to just sit in it. Sometimes it's overwhelming. That's fine. I get that. I choose that sometimes too, because it's like, I don't know. I'm a human. I need to feel these things. But then there's the times where you can choose to be like, but not today. Not today. I'm going to go do something else. So
I am so
choices.
glad that you brought up the conversation about consciousness, because I think people don't really understand what that means. And if you, I love words, and I love words breakdowns. Con is with. What comes after con in the spelling of consciousness? Science. It's con science.
On science. I was like,
the actual spelling is con science with evidence. Science is evidence. Consciousness is with evidence. Right? So fear is basically false evidence appearing real. I'm going to let that marinate. So when your conscience is twisted because of you're scared, you're taking a false evidence and letting it appear real and letting it affect your consciousness because you're adding that to your science.
Yeah, so I like this. So if your
Stick
consciousness is you with, like, it's with science, right? So if you're the with science, with proof, right, with evidence, and then fear comes in and that's a separate thing, it's trying to convince you. It's trying to give you evidence.
It's the false evidence
that you can accept or reject.
Yeah. It's very easy to look at something glowing red and assume that it's hot, right? Because that's what we've been told. And where illusions come in is because it defies your science knowledge, right? So if you see something, a red water, or you see bubbles in the water, that's easy. I'll take it and make it simpler. You see a pool and the water is bubbling. Your first inclination is this is boiling water. And maybe even there's a thing that looks like steam coming off of it. But that steam is not steam, it's nebulized water droplets, which is different from steam. They look the same, but they're different because one's hot, one's cold. And so you're like scared to stick your foot in, and you stick your foot in, it's like, oh, this is actually cool. Where'd the bubbles come from? Dry ice. Not heat. It bubbles, it steams. Well, you think it steams, it's just vapor, but the water's cold because it's dry ice, not heat, right? So that's what an illusion can do because it goes against your science.
So a way to address all of these things, or anytime that you're stuck, is to be investigative, right? To be curious, to look for the evidence. You don't know how to use your gear? Well, let's look for the evidence there. Okay, the evidence is you have not pushed any buttons. So let's investigate. Let's press some buttons. You can't get started because you don't know where to start. Well, let's get investigated. Let's get in there and again press some buttons, right? Let's try some things. Let's be curious. The same with the emotions and the feels. You know, it's like, okay, well, you're telling me that I'm scared. You're telling me that I don't belong here, that I shouldn't be doing this. But let me go check it out for myself. And then see where you go.
There you go. And one thing, when you do your podcast, don't let your brother come to the live taping because he says dumb stuff in the chat that tries to derail your brain. I'm ignoring them. I'm totally ignoring them because June and Paul are like messing with me in the back, and I'm paying attention to Mary Lou. All right.
Well, I hope
Lou.
that you guys found this helpful.
Yes.
If there's any of this that resonates with you, we really, really, really want to build the community here. Like, you're not just the audience, you are with us. We want to hear how you're feeling. We want to hear what is working for you, what's not working for you, because either way, that might help somebody else in the community feel brave enough to jump in as well.
Yeah, I do. This is super important, especially I'm looking at the dudes in my crew. We were raised differently. We were raised like asking for help is sort of bad. And so a lot of dudes be out there doing stuff that probably would help if they spoke to someone. Like, by all means, yo, we're just telling you our side of the story. We're telling you how we feel. We're telling you our experiences. Yours might be different. And you actually may need to talk to somebody. You may need to hit up a better help. You may need to reach out. I have seen what happens to someone who takes the burden of all the pains by themselves and assume that they can't ask anyone for help. Okay? Like that hits me in so many places. Right? So if something in here reminding you of something and you feel like you need to speak to somebody, 100% you need to go speak to someone. You need to speak to someone as soon as possible. And there's lots of ways to do it nowadays, so you don't even have to be seen walking into, Dr. Vinny Boombop's office. You can legit do this at home over Zoom nowadays.
And I didn't get into therapy until it was like the pandemic, and I should have years and years and years prior. But going to therapy and, getting help and being able to kind of unburden some of these things really made the difference, because it's like I had spent my years learning the gear. I had spent my years building the processes. And I was like, honestly, like with my creative work and my creative business was like, I don't know. Why can't I do this? I'm just paralyzed all the time. And it was through therapy where I got to unpack some things. And like, seriously, the therapist, she was like, I don't think that's you. Because she's like, I talked to you and you seem like you know what you're doing. You seem competent. You seem confident. But this extra thing that's paralyzing you, what if we look at that and say, that's not you? Let's get curious. Let's get investigative. And then I worked on my framework with that. I mean, also with medication too, because like sometimes it's chemical, but also if you are feeling any kind of way, like, please just explore it. Just explore.
Yeah. Speaking of chemical medication, I'm gonna drink another cup of coffee. Guys, you have been checking out Creators Unstuck. It is our new podcast. Thank you. We made it through episode 2. I am Doc, and you can find me all
Mary
over the
Lou.
interwebs at Doc Rock. And Mary Lou, what'd you say?
Oh, we got to work on that thing. We'd be like, I'm Doc, and I'm Mary Lou, and this is
Creators
Creators
Unstuck.
Unstuck. We'll do
right.
that afterwards. Okay, you can find Doc all over the internet at Doc Rock. Get your Doc Pops. Absolutely. Get a pop of color. I'm Mary Lou Mandel. I'm all over the internet as Mary Lou Mandel.
I love it. And you know what I was waiting for this whole time? To do my ending. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready
Let's
for
do
my
it.
ending? You have been listening to Creators Unstuck, and so next week we will see you. He's stupid. He's absolutely stupid. All right,
I was waiting for our like AI theme song to come on.
Yeah, I just did the stop the recording. All right, coolio. So now I'll go ahead and press record one more again. There we go.
How was
Boom,
that for
thank
you
you.
guys?
That was
Thank
cool.
you guys for witnessing that.
Thank you, Paul and June, for saying dumb stuff in the chat. And no, I unsubscribe to such language. There's no such animal.
I was almost going to tell you beforehand
clinical
to like
exhaustion.
close the chat.
Yeah, I should have because Paul and June are messing with me. Mark is asking me questions about the color of the pops in the middle of a recording. They're the same, but my camera is different from hers. My lighting is different from hers. That's called reflections, right? But if you see them side by side, I legit look at hundreds of them in the bag. They're the same. So.
Yeah,
Fire.
and I on my camera, I pump up the color on everything because I just like that. That's my vibe.
That's a Panasonic trick.
Mm.
So, like, Judah and I used to always tell customers, because customers be like, oh, the Panasonic, the colors always look so good. I was like, yeah, because they crank it up at the factory so that when they plug it in the store, the person setting up the demo is not going to mess with it. Right? June calibrate every goddamn TV in the store every day. I'm like, dude, put the remote down. Go somewhere. He'd be over there making it all cute. But if you're going to go to Sears or Walmart or places where people bought stupid-ass Panasonic TVs, they always look phenomenal because they would overcrank the colors at the store. And they would use demos that purposely had all kind of like bright-ass fish and shit in it. So we didn't really use the Sony demos that often. We did in some cases, but most times Dad went out and shot his own shit. And so people would see like Hawaii stuff because you know what it looks like. And then you would see the color and you're like, damn, this is beautiful. How come this looks so real? Because we're tuning it that way. With a person who
So what is your main camera? Is it still ZV-E10?
It's the Sony ZV-E10, but
with
it's
the 16
also
millimeter?
It's coming through. No, I'm on the Tamron 17 to 28, and it's coming through a black Pro Mist filter. And after the black Pro Mist filter, it's coming through an Elgato prompter, which changes the color. Nobody wants to talk about that. This is a great prompter. I really love it. It fucks with your color. Let's be dead. But you know what?
Because that's another piece of glass.
And nobody cares except for fucking Mark. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like nobody cares. And I get it, but that has nothing to do with creating content. That has nothing to do with the audio quality. Like if we stick to majoring in the minor shit, if you don't erase that from your life in general, it will always creep up. Right? Like, I was the kid whose peas could not touch shit else on the plate because I don't like peas. And I thought that taste would get everywhere. As an adult, when you get it mixed in with something and you don't even see them, you're eating it, you 3 spoons deep. Oh, this is bomb. And then you see the pea. And you go, fuck, too late now. I'm halfway through this bowl. I'm going to just keep eating it because it tastes good. And then I realized I didn't not like peas. I didn't like square frozen peas for $4, Bird's Eye, Green Giant, Safeway brand, whatever. Boil it in the water, dump them on a plate, and they roll everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times your reactions or whatever comes from a historical thing that you locked onto and never reinvestigated. So once I figured that out, I was about 19 or 20, and I said, I'm going to revisit all the foods that I swear that I didn't like as a kid, when it turned out Mama was an okay cook. I am a phenomenal cook. So just yesterday, I had Brussels sprouts, Kung Pao Brussels sprouts from Nordstrom's restaurant, and it is so good. When I was a kid, I used to put the Brussels sprouts under the table and be like, dog, eat this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you cannot help it, I understand, but you can help everything. So when you get to the point where you're always looking for something to pick, that is a procrastination tool. Perfection is procrastination.
It's true. I think I lost the thread though, because I don't know how we got from Brussels sprouts to this.
Because Mark asking about the color codes, about if our pops are 2 different colors, because somehow that affects the quality of a podcast, is looking for a perfection twist that is built into him. And that perfection twist is actually slowing down production. Because I can sit here and go through 50 pops to get on with match on screen with you.
Mm-hmm.
But
I see.
How much time would that take away from recording the episode?
Oh, I'm so glad we got that episode done. That was I really liked that conversation very much. And I hope that you guys did too. Because with all of those things, right, we could get very deep and granular with any of those things. But it's just the second episode. So let's let's still get to know each other. Let's still keep it a little bit more surface level because we're just trying to identify some things. So I don't know. Now we got to decide what's our next one because you are leaving at the beginning of August, right? For your trip. So we want to try to get a couple
August 6th.
episodes done before you go.
And, August 6th.
Cool.
Jason's stupid, but that's super funny. Everything on the plate is going to end up making the same splash. Damn, Jason. That's too good. That's just too good. Perfection is not a journey, it's a destination. Ooh, I like that. Yo,
that is good.
My thing just twirled for a second.
Now, AT, did you finish your 75 hard?
Yes, she did, dude. She was getting therapy the other day with the squeeze therapy compression. I love those things. I almost bought one, but they first came out, they were like $3,000. You put your legs in these boots, and then the pneumatic thing blows it up, and it squeezes. You ever seen those? The big leg boots. Oh man, they're so dope. They're so dope. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Let's see. I'm just checking. All right, everybody looks gravy. Everybody looks gravy. Okay, so here's what's going to happen today. I have to pick up Emma from swimming because, the family is doing family things. So class does start at 11. I pick up Emma at 10:30. Depending on traffic, I will be back. If not, Paul can start it. And I told Janice to come through because she needed some help. And you guys can start because you, Paul, Camera Junkie, you guys know what to do. And you guys can start with her. And I thought today, because I'm feeling generous, we're going to do class in the lounge. So everybody, well, that's up to the Go group. Y'all can say no. If y'all don't want to deal with muggles, y'all can say no. But I thought we would run class in the lounge for anybody who wanted to come by and just take a peek. See what kind of stuff we might do. That means I'll have to behave and not say the dumb shit I say. I just wanted to see if Alicia caught that. She be giving me the stink look when I say stupid shit in class. Paul said the riff-raff. No, June, you cannot stand in my class. We won't get nothing done. It'll just be June harassing me the whole time. But yeah, I like the fact that we're recording this in public. I like the fact that people get a chance to see. And again, nothing wrong with the intention of like what Mark is asking, because I fully get it. But I just want to show you what a manifestation of thinking about something like that can do. It can completely derail your process. And all of us with the 4-letter divergence, we have to stop that, because that's exactly how you get derailed. Any of us has done it. We have gone somewhere and then we're like, I just need to go in and get this box of cereal and some milk, and I'm going to be in and out of the grocery store in 5 minutes. And you go in and you pick your cereal, and the worst thing that could happen to you is the first or second box is dented. I never pick the first box. I always pick the second one. If the second box is dented, then I look at the first one and it's dented, and I done took every single box off of the shelf trying to find one that's not dented. And if they all dented, now I'm stuck because I can't buy a dented box of cereal. So I just derailed my entire process. Right?
Yeah.
That's my neurodivergence.
Like
that's one of my neurodivergence, right? Like
we're all guilty of it. It's just like you had to wipe your fingerprints.
June will go to the store and sort the fucking cans. He will line them up if they're crooked. You know what I'm saying? So what should have been grab it and get out, June would be like, because we fronted our store all the time. And the spaces, I've seen dude like go into the store and like line shit up. It's not our store. Leave that shit alone. But he can't help himself.
I can't help myself. If there's we have like a little donut shop. They've got the fridge with the drinks. I will go in and turn everything to the front.
Yeah.
And bring everything to the front.
Right.
Because they're just like standing there. I'm like, I don't know, let me do this. And then Will's like, what are you doing?
Yes. So it's knowing that what's going to sidetrack you. So if you know that, then you have got to leave the imperfections in the way, so that way they don't sidetrack you. You see what I'm saying? And that's, again, the perfection itself is one of the absolute worst procrastination tools in the planet. Procrastinating learning imperfection. Why are you laughing? The look of curiosity on your face, or is that I just got to pee real bad?
Well, it's a little bit of both. A little bit of both. But I'm laughing because of the did Doc just compare us to dented boxes and cans? It's like you just keep taking us off the shelf and we're not ready. And you're like, I just can't. And now you're here because we're all dented.
No, Jason. I mean, just like the idea of like getting yourself sidetracked. You really needed to come in and record a 30-second video, and then you spend like an hour moving stuff that has nothing to do with that video. If the hour meant I need to clean my room so I can shoot this video, that's different. But like sitting in your computer, like organizing your files before you record a video, that got jack all to do with that video. So don't organize the files right then. Do it later. And I've done it. I've sat down and done it and go, oh, I got to record this video for Ecamm, and I really don't want to record it because I don't like what I got to say, but I got to say it anyway. Oh, let me go pay some bills real quick. And I'll spend 2 hours like doing the bills, checking the credit score. Like I'm going, Discover, Amex, I'm going on vacation, so you will see charges from out of the country this day, this day, this day, this day. Like I do all of that shit, and it's like an hour, and I still ain't recording that damn video. Yeah, that. You know what I'm saying? There you go.
Yes.
I would tell you, I spent 3 hours to record cock-a-doodle-doo video that legit took me the entire 2 minutes. But because I was stuck on that's not my copy, because I just make my own shit, right? Because they gave me words. This is why I don't do scripts. They gave me a script. I didn't necessarily like the script. I didn't dislike it. It just didn't sound like me. So instead of fixing the script, instead of telling, look, I will make the script the way I want anyway, knowing no matter, this is going to sound evil, but I don't mean this to be evil, knowing no matter what video I made, it was going to be better than everybody else because I have the experience and none of them do, but it was going to be a collab video. I legit twirled in my office for 2 hours to record that 2-minute video. And I remember walking out the house saying, I got to go down and record something real quick, and I'll be right back up. And then about 2.5 hours, little person comes downstairs and like walking to the studio, like, you still here? Yeah. Did you record your video? Let's go eat. Oh shit, I didn't record my video yet. What the F have you been doing? That was the rubber band. That was the snap out of it. Anything but. Yo, I retuned these lights in the back so that the speaker works. I mean, so that the action works better. I adjusted this. I built that, that set for recording the shorts on the side over here. I did everything but a 2-minute recording. That's what I'm talking about. Identified those joints.
Yeah, because they get us all, right? But when you start to notice them, then you can at least address it. Where you're like, I know this is happening. I know this is flaring up. Can I take a pill? Can I do something to relieve this? Or do I just got to go through it? And it sounded like yesterday you just had to go through it.
When your herpes is flaring up. I was a joke, people. It was a joke. I'm sorry. I got to pee too. All right, gang. I'll see y'all in class. I might be a little bit late, but Paul, Alicia, you go. You guys are self-managed. So, and yeah, let's just start it in the lounge today. And then I will message Janice and tell her to bring her butt so I can help her what she needs to get help with. And Yolanda and Mary Lou, it was super fun having you guys around last week. So yeah, boom.
Yeah, can't pop in today because I've got to help Will get his stuff together for his show.
Nice.
But I'll see y'all again soon. And the
next time I got to do a 2-minute
wondering.
recording, I recorded at June's house because it's faster. Because I don't gotta move nothing around. It's already organized in alphabetical order in exactly the same amount of inches between the individual pieces. All right, gang. Y'all be good. Peace out. See you.